Hey, it's Bernadette. Whoops, I don't have my microphone. So, hello, it's Bernadette. I haven't been on for a bit, probably over a week. I don't remember. All I know is I've been tired. But I told my friend I would do an update. People are messaging me, asking me if I'm okay. I am okay. I'm alive. Wednesday was chemo number 5. Reviewed the PET scan with my oncologist. Um, got some news about what's coming up after number 6. I thought it was done, but because of the PET scan, I'm not done. So if you're watching me live, say hello, put a comment in and say hello. Let me know you're here. Um, I just want to do a quick update and let you know I'm okay. Like haven't been feeling well. I'm not that I'm horribly sick, but I've got a lot of bone pain in my legs, which apparently is part of chemo and lymphoma. Um, because lymphoma is a blood cancer and a bone marrow cancer. But my legs have been hurting a lot and I'm really fatigued. So it's been a little hard. Anywho, so who's watching? Say hello. I see some of you live, but I don't see any comments. So I want to know that you can hear me and that I'm coming through okay before I dive in and kind of give the update. I think I did an update about my PET scan. Hi Andy. Hi Muhammad. I think I did a update on my PET scan, but I'm not positive. Hi Sandra. I'm not positive. So quick review. I had a PET scan and the results weren't fabulous. Hi Kim. The two radiologists. So I have my PET scan done from 2 different radiology places. And the first one said that it had shrunk from 19 centimeters to 10 centimeters. The PET scan I just had said no, in fact, it was 19 centimeters to 13 centimeters, and now it's 9 centimeters. That was between chemo 4 and 5. And I just had 5 on Wednesday. Hi, Angela. So I thought it was at 10. So when I saw 9, I'm like, well, that's not good. And then talked to the oncologist about my Deauville score and the fact that the tumor is still metabolically active, which is a thing. Like it's not great, but she's like, I'm not super surprised. I'm not super excited. She's like, I'm just kind of like. So her recommendation or her plan is right now is I finish the 6th round of chemo on the 28th of August. And then she's putting me through 2 rounds of a drug called rituximab. I think that's the one, which is part of my chemo regimen right now. I don't know what that's going to entail. She wants me to run 2 cycles. Sometimes that drug, they can do it every day for like, I don't know, like whatever that cycle is. Like it could be a 5-day cycle. I don't know what it looks like yet. She wouldn't tell me much. She said, we'll do another PET scan after 6. I have it scheduled for, I think, September 19th or something like that, mid-September. Based on the PET scan results there, and we'll have already started the single dose chemo, the 2 rounds of single dose chemo. Then I may have to see a radiologist and they may have, like she said, I may have to do radiation, which I told her I'm very afraid of that. And I'm not really happy about that at all. Like she said, well, it's very targeted. Like, what about my kidneys and everything? Because the mass is, kind of above that. She said, well, we're going to wait and see. Right now, chemo's still working, and then I had number 5 that day, which was Wednesday. I have number 6 on the 28th. Chemo's still working. I can still feel the mass. Does it? She's like, it feels a lot different. It was so big. I mean, 19 centimeters, by 18 centimeters by 5 centimeters. So like it was a very large mass, right? Big. So she said she's happy with the progress because it was so big to start with. She's like, we don't typically see tumors that big. And that's because I let it go for a year while I was trying to treat it naturally with all kinds of off-label meds and everything else. But she's not concerned. She's like, and if that doesn't work, if the second dose or the 2 doses of rituximab doesn't work, she's like, we have second line treatments, which there's one called CAR T therapy, CAR T cell therapy, something like that. There's stem cell therapy. There's other things they can do. So she's not worried. The goal is remission. I'm worried. Like, I don't know how much more I can take. You know, my body's tired. I'm exhausted all the time and I can't think straight most of the time. Like I've got a couple good hours a day where I can focus and think straight. And then odd hours of the night, I'm up thanks to the prednisone right now. But still not in a place where I can really get a lot done. So that's my my biggest frustration. I am gaining weight, partially due to the prednisone buildup in my system. And for whatever reason, which is fine, whatever. I'm up to what I would typically weigh. And part of that, I think, is just sedentary because I'm in bed a lot. Not going to worry about my weight right now. Like, I'm just not, because I know once the chemo and stuff's done and the meds are done and I can rebuild my liver, that it's all going to come off. And like, it's the least of my concerns right now. My biggest concern is get this cancer out of my body. So just know that I'm okay and that I'm hanging in there. I have my up days, my down days. Thank you, Laura. Tomorrow is my last big dose of prednisone, and then I start to taper down Monday and Tuesday, and I'll start to go through withdrawal symptoms Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. And then by Wednesday, day 7 is when everything starts, or Tuesday and Wednesday is when the chemo starts to cycle out of my body. So those are not fun days. I'm usually pretty much in the bathroom and not feeling well. And the nausea is real bad during those times, and it just doesn't feel good. But I don't know, as far as the prednisone crash, that is just different each time. Just feels like the flu and lots of bone pain. I've had a lot of bone pain. I have been taking magnesium and using magnesium spray and taking Epsom salt baths when I absolutely have to. It's just rough. You know, they're like, they want me to be on Imodium 3 times a day. And I'm like, I'm not going to keep putting drugs into my system. So I am taking it when I need to, when I'm getting too dehydrated. My anemia is really getting to the point where I can't get an infusion yet. I guess you have to be at a 6 to have it, which I was during the first chemo. But I'm at a 9 right now. So they're like, well, you're anemic. It doesn't, you're not at the place where you need an iron infusion. I'm like, great, but I'm tired. So my dad and Mr. Andy both said maybe I should get the IV infusion, which I didn't do between 4 and 5 because I don't have the money for it. The fundraiser kind of stalled out, and I still have a big bill that I'm paying off for $2,400. So I'm more worried about keeping up with hospital bills. But at the same time, my platelet count was much better between 2 and 3 when I did the between 2 and 3 and 3 and 4 when I did the infusion with the glutathione and vitamin C and vitamin B and fluids right after I went through the chemo detox. So I might do it on Friday. We'll see. We've had a lot of expenses in the house lately with the stupid lawn having to be replaced because of the HOA. And it just is what it is, right? And like you guys know, food's super expensive. Everything's super expensive and all the stuff. So trying to do my best to keep up with everything. But my platelet count was better. My numbers do not look good. My blood work's not great. Like my blood cell count, red blood cell and white blood cell counts low. And my liver counts not great. My liver function is not great. There's a lot of stuff that's concerning. And yet it's not concerning enough to stop chemo. So I just have to trust that I'm in the right hands. And so far, Spirit hasn't made me feel like I'm in I'm in dire straits, but I'm not going to say it's not scary. It's scary, and I'm tired of being sick. Tired. Siri's talking to me. I'm tired of being sick. I'm tired of being tired and not being able to kind of force my way through stuff. Those of you who are doers like me, who are high achievers like me, that's been the toughest part of this ride, is just not being able to muster the strength and push through. It messes with my head and my emotions. It messes with me because I was in such good shape. Like, I was going to a personal trainer, I was, exercising. I've lost almost all my muscle mass. I have to rebuild everything once this is done. And I just want it done. And it's like, okay, I thought it was over at 6, but apparently not. Now they're adding on two other treatments and potentially more, depending on whether or not I go into remission. So pray for remission. Pray the chemo number 5 works and number 6 works, and I don't have to continue on. Like, pray, please. And if you can, share the fundraiser, donate to the fundraiser. Any support is welcome and helpful. I will finally get some. I will get my what is it? SSDI. I think it's SSDI. I'll get disability, my first payment in October. So it's like, I still have to wait 2 more months before I get some supplemental income, which sucks. It just, that whole system, I've tried not to think about it because it really makes me mad how hard it is to get things done that way. Like, there's a 5-month waiting period. You get your first payment on the 6th month. So I don't get any supplemental until October, but it would be very helpful to have it right now, because then I could actually do the IV infusions. When this is all said and done, there's other treatments naturally that I'm going to do to help reboot and recover my body. But first, I got to pay off the doctor bills. I got to keep up with them and pay off the hospital bills. So I know, thank God I was in good shape, but man, it took away all my muscle mass. Like, I lost so much weight so rapidly. I dropped down to 103 at my lowest, and I've gained 10 pounds. So how that's happening, I'm sure it's just because I'm not doing much. And then the prednisone buildup in my system. The more prednisone you have, the more swollen you get. I've seen people say they lost a ton of weight and then gained it all back plus. I don't plan to gain it all back plus, because so much of the mass after chemo round number 1, there so much of that mass that had shrunk was carrying a lot of weight. I mean, it was thick. Like, it was thick and long, like long and thick, heavy duty. It's nice to be able to sleep on my stomach. I will say that. Like, one of the things I'm most grateful for the last probably month, I've been able to spend time on my stomach without pain. So because my back gets really tired, I get really tired of laying on my back on my side. And I can't sleep on one side because I get numbness in my leg from where I broke my hip. But I have been able to sleep on my stomach, which I hadn't been able to do in months and months and months and months. And I'm a stomach sleeper. I've always been a stomach sleeper. Now, with my port, I have to be careful, and I kind of have to sleep on my arm, because if I roll the wrong way, there's pressure on it. Or if I, kind of put a pillow up here, it's okay. But yeah. The other thing I was bummed about is I don't get the port out when I thought I would. I thought for sure I'd get the port out in September, but because I've got 2 more rounds and they don't know what's after this, I don't know when the port is coming out. So far, at least it's holding, and no blood clots. It's still working, which makes chemo way more comfortable. Like, I've gotten it wired to where I can slather the numbing cream on top of it and then cover it with plastic wrap. About an hour and a half to 2 hours time on there is the right amount. Like, the first time I did it 45 minutes before they poked me. and I still felt it. But when it's on there for like 2 hours and covered with plastic wrap so it doesn't dry up, you can't feel it. It like literally feels like a thump, but there's no pain. So I finally gotten that wired. So at least it doesn't hurt when they put the needle in anymore. I figured that out. But aside from that, yeah, I don't know what else to tell you guys. I'm eating okay. I'm not vomiting. In fact, I'm not that nauseous this round. Had a few moments of like I have a lot of dizziness. I don't feel super steady and I don't feel strong. Like the stupidest things was trying to open like that plastic wrap on top of the cottage cheese container. And I don't think I'm that weak, but apparently I can't. I couldn't do it. I don't know what that is. So I have to be really careful. Like I wish I could exercise and do like a lot of walks and stuff, but I'm just not steady. And I'm on blood thinners because I had a blood clot. And they're telling me to stay on them for 6 months. So I'm afraid because I'm not steady that I'll fall down and create a bigger problem, which I don't need any more medical problems right now. So it's funky. It's just stupid funky right now. And hot as hell. So I'm kind of trapped in a little space and going a little stir crazy. Yet it's better than going out and about because a bunch of people are sick. So that's me. And yeah, I'm still keeping up with the client load that I've had, still keeping up with my classes. And that's that. Like every day is a new adventure. And I'm keeping the faith that everything's going to be okay. I'm still here, still smiling, have some bad days, I'm not as emotional as I was, although I can't guarantee that when the prednisone crash comes. I'm not as irritated this time, and I'm not as, I was pretty depressed last week when I got my PET scan results. There was a few days I needed to process. Part of the reason I didn't come on is because I really needed to process the PET scan results and report, and then what she said and what she's not saying, because there's a lot she won't say. But the fact that she wants to hand me off to a radiologist if and when it has to, I'm like, man, that sucks. I'm like, I that's not the route. Like, I don't see myself doing radiation. I don't want that. Did I say radiologist? I meant radiation doc. Yeah, I don't want radiation. I think my body can handle it. And I'm going to stick with that. We're not going there. It's bad enough that now she signed me up for 2 more rounds of drugs that I wasn't expecting through the month of September. I thought I was going to be able to recover my liver and everything in September. And I'm really concerned about my liver numbers. And I can tell just by what my stomach's doing, my digestion's doing, that my liver's it's not doing well. I had a perfectly functioning liver before, and not so much. So it's going to take months to heal all of this and to get back. But what do we have but time, right? I'm sure if I can just get my brain back and my energy levels back, I'll be happy. And I know I have to build it back. That's anytime you have any kind of illness like this, especially cancer, you just got to kick it. You got to kick it back. You got to build back and start over. And in so many ways, it's like my body and my health right now are kind of reflecting what's happening on this planet. There's a deconstruction happening, and then there will be reconstruction and recreating. And I'm focusing on that. On the days where I'm not super emotionally happy, positive, I just hide. I just find something to distract myself and hide. I've tried to read some books, which no retention. Like, I'm not wasting any more money on books because I'm not retaining them. I'll have to go back to them later. And yeah, is what it is. Doing a lot of meditating and prayer with spirit, especially in the middle of the night. So I hope you guys are doing well. I just wanted to let you know that I'm okay, and I will champion on and keep going. I will come give you an update again when there's something to tell you, I'm sure. I wanted to do some more teaching videos and stuff like that, spiritual and self-growth videos, but I have not had the energy to edit any past videos, and I've got thousands and thousands of hours of videos. I've been doing this work for 25 years, but I don't have the energy to edit. And the girl who helps me's got to get her kids back to school before she can reboot and help. Um, and as far as coming on live and teaching, unless Spirit gives me a message to come on and the energy to do it, I'm just not. And right now, I haven't had the energy. I've had lots of messages for my my hidden wisdom people. Which, if you want to check that out, just go Bernadette Gold /hidden wisdom. It's a monthly membership. There's been stuff that has come through for them for their monthly forecast, and then it'll come through in coaching. And then my Charm Life people, I let them know weekly because we meet weekly. And that's a deep transformational program. I give them messages. My private clients, but I haven't had the energy to deal with coming on and just broadcast. Today's the first day, and I'm forcing myself to do it. I wasn't gonna, and I was like, all right, do it. Too many people are messaging you. Everyone's wondering if you're okay. So I am okay. Just know I'm okay, and I'll get through this. But I don't know when I'll be back on. This upcoming week after chemo is always the hardest, because that's when the detox happens and the withdrawal from the prednisone happens. And I'm not in the best mind space or emotional space. Your mood swings a lot when the steroids wear off. So doing HemiSync. I like HemiSync. Yeah. HemiSync's good. Haven't been doing a lot of it, but it is one that I have on my playlist for sure. So yeah, Andrea, I like HemiSync. And if you guys are wondering what HemiSync is, it's a brainwave entrainment. You can listen to them on YouTube with headphones. So yeah. Anywho. All right, you guys, have a wonderful rest of your weekend. I hope your weather where you are is okay. I'm praying for Florida and all of the people that are experiencing earthquakes in Japan. Like, it's crazy out there. It's crazy, crazy. Where I grew up in Laguna Beach and Dana Point, there's like houses, multi-million-dollar houses ready to slide off the cliffs because of landslides and stuff, which doesn't surprise me. I don't think they should have built those houses on those cliffs anyways. When I was growing up, those cliffs were empty and we used to dive in, like jump into the sand. It was really pretty until they built all those houses. However, nobody wants to lose their investment. So I feel bad for, those people. And it's happening everywhere, right? Like I hope wherever you are, your weather's okay. It's so hot here and humid in Texas. And it's been incredibly hard to deal with the air quality, because we were getting the Sahara desert winds or whatever. The air quality's been really crap. Molds and stuff have been down, but that's been really crap. So have had a couple asthma attacks, and yeah, no one's really leaving the air conditioning. It's just unbearable. So wherever you are, I pray it stabilizes. But last thing I want to say to you, and I don't know if you heard me say this, but I'm going to say it again. The earth is going through a deconstruction phase, and deconstruction is never fun. There's so many systems and things that are not working anymore that need to be deconstructed so that we can build something proper in its place that is sustainable for all life forms on this planet. And people don't like change. People don't like losing things. Unfortunately, that is the phase that we're in, and it's not pretty. I mean, I know what that feels like in my body. You lose a lot of stuff. It's not fun. And you have to stop and sit still, and you have to wait until the right guidance before you can build new. And that time of waiting sucks. We're in that phase right now. Like, all the problems seem to be bubbling to the surface, but the reality is, as those problems come up, the solutions come right alongside, and then we implement after we deconstruct the things that aren't working. So don't give up hope. Whatever you're going through, be it a health issue, cancer, relationship issues, financial issues, like, we're all going to have to bring some changes into our lives, how we look at things, how we do things, how we live our lives. But the reality is it will be for the better. It may take a couple years to really see the effects of the changes, but it will be better. We're building towards a positive future. Just know that you're building towards a positive future. And every day we have the opportunity to put love and peace and joy out into the world. And if we keep doing that, answers come, change happens, change that affects everyone on a good level. So waiting is always hard. Oh my God, we are so impatient. But that's okay. If we all stick together and unify and don't get divided by the politics and the media and the division of all the issues out there, if we just stay unified and remember the most important thing we can do is be loving, we'll make it through this. Like, I believe that the universe is infinite and there is always providence. But we have to be in the right vibration and the right mindset and the right emotional place. You know, that's how I'm getting through this. And I'm not saying that I'm always 100% positive, because holy cow, I haven't been. We dip, right? But the point is, you dip and you come back up, and then you dip again and you come back up. It's a bit of a ride. So nothing's easy. And when we're going through hard times, we have to remember on the other side of the hard times are flow. You know, we have more flow. Tom Petty had it right. The waiting is the hardest part. Michelle, Bernadette, I listen to you all the time. You really do inspire me at times. I feel at my lowest. I'm always keeping you in my thoughts and prayers. Thank you, Michelle. So I'll leave you guys with that. If this inspires you, then my job is done. If it informs you and educates you, my job is done. You know, there's a reason Spirit wanted me to share my journey real and raw. You know, I don't have any makeup on. I don't have a wig on. I've been sweating all day. This is it. You know, this is just me coming to you and saying, hey, this is what I'm going through. This is where I'm at. Here's the update. And we're all going through something. Like, I don't think that what I'm going through is any better or any worse than anybody else. Like, we're all facing stuff. And depending on where we're at in our lives and what tools we have, it can feel overwhelming and like the world is crashing in, no matter what it is. Literally, you could have lost your job and it could feel as devastating as cancer is, right? I know a lot of people that have lost their jobs recently that are like, what the hell? And there aren't a lot of new jobs being created, which means we all have to become, you know, more independent. I'm grateful that I'm self-employed because it's up to me to make my income. And I don't have to worry about someone firing me. In my group, my cancer groups, you wouldn't believe how many people get fired and lose their insurance because they have cancer, which to me is like disgusting. There's just no compassion anymore. Yet, you know, starting this cancer journey without insurance and having a shit ton of bills coming at me, that hasn't been fun, but I have insurance now. And thankfully, it's covering the majority of the stuff moving forward. I just have to pay the back bills and my deductibles and copays. So it's fun, fun, fun. fun, fun. In any case, I want to encourage all of you, like, whatever you're going through in this moment and today will not last forever. This challenge will not last forever. I've been through so many challenges in my life and I've gotten through them. If you don't believe me, go read my book. If you don't want to pay for the book by going on to Amazon, The Crooked Path to a Charmed Life, go on to YouTube, The Gold Factor. And on my podcast, I release the entire audiobook for free in season 1 of my podcast. So go listen to it. It shares my story, the spiritual side, some other health issues I've been through, my relationships. Like, it's real and raw. You want real and raw, Bernadette? You get real and raw, but you also get the journey of how Spirit took me through it and how I evolved and how I grew as a human being. And I've been through a lot. So when people tell me, like, I don't know if you can understand what I'm going through, I'm like, you have no idea. I've been through it a lot. So, yeah, this right now is a bump in the road. It's a long, horrible, bumpy road for months, but I will get through it, just like you're going to get through your stuff. Somehow you still look adorable and pretty. You're so sweet, Andrea. All right, you guys, have a wonderful Saturday and Sunday. Enjoy yourself this weekend. I will see you guys later. Share the fundraiser, and if you can donate, every little bit counts. Literally, every little bit counts. Thank you, thank you, thank you, guys. Many blessings. Good night.